name is Jerry. I'm a finance professional and I worked long-term in long-term planning and strategy. And I want to talk briefly today about, I hear a lot of, from our side of the fence that there's problems, and there's definitely problems, but the one thing that's always exercises my mind is what are solutions? Like, how do we make things better? So just a little bit of background. Italy is about to be the first country in the world that has more grandparents than grandchildren. Now, sit there and think about that for a second. What does that actually mean? It means there's way more older people than young people. So what does that mean? You take the welfare state, that means there won't be people in hospitals because you won't have enough young people to look after the old people. You won't have builders to build the hospitals because you don't have enough young people to look after the old people. In terms of a pension, there isn't enough people paying tax to pay social welfare. What actually happens when you go from a pyramid to a rectangle? What actually happens is you see collapse of the social welfare system. You see collapse of society. You will actually see massive reductions in living standards and all this type of stuff. Now this used to be just only in the West and Southeast Asia. That's not the case anymore. OECD, New York Times, The Economist, BBC, they're now all beginning to report on the global shortage of babies. This whole crap that they want about mass migration has topped 20 years and then there isn't any more people to import. So when I'm old and you're old and everybody's old, you've got three choices. One, you need robots to look after. Two, you need mass migrants. That's going to run out, so there won't be mass migrants. Or their third option is you actually need to do it the old-fashioned way. We need to have more babies. Full stop. And then you actually look at, well, what does a baby cost? If you've got 3 kids and you want a 4th kid, what does it cost you? You have to upgrade your car, you have to upgrade your house. The cost that the state and the regulations is imposing on people is enormous. So what is the solution to all of this type of stuff? Well, the solution is actually start using state intervention to try to help getting the baby up. Now, what does that actually do? Take that crowd over there. What does the people before profit turn around to their supporters and say, don't take a mortgage reduction, don't take a tax cut, ignore all that stuff, this is all racist, this is all fascist. They can't say that. They can't tell their supporters this is crap. Point number 1. Point number 2, a lot of young women who traditionally will support leftist causes will stop supporting leftist causes and they'll start supporting us. Why? Because it benefits them. It flat out benefits them. The third thing is that how hard is it to call somebody that's pro-baby a Nazi? How hard is it for somebody to say, I actually want to see more babies, I want to see more families? How hard is it to call them a fascist? How is anybody actually ever going to believe this type of stuff? This is a case of setting that crowd up to actually to send a message out that actually supports us. Let the media call people that are pro-baby fascists. Let the media call people that are pro-baby Nazis. Tell the grandparents that they shouldn't have more children. Is that going to be a successful message? Is it? Does anybody think that's going to work for anybody? It's not. So any party, any right so far party should put, absolutely has to put babies at the center of the message. You put babies at the center of the message, you will have to push back on a lot of crap, okay? A heap of crap. You start turning around and start telling people will, Fine Gael will turn around to you and go, oh, the economy's going to fall over. The economy will fall over. The social welfare state's fucked. We need to bring in heaps of people. You turn around to them and go, no, we're going to have our own babies, thank you very much. Now what's going to happen? Now when people have more babies, they're actually a lot happier. People have kids. Study after study after study shows they're happier. You have a happier society, you have a more cohesive society. This is one of the reasons why the globalists don't want families. They don't want it because they don't want a happy society. When you actually start at this particular point, all of a sudden a lot of that crap starts going away. I have a few other points that I kind of got around my head now. Does that make sense? Does that? And the other thing, like, and I'm talking to Derek, and I was hoping to be some Irish freedom people here too. But you need to start thinking about, they've dismantled society. You're a builder, Derek. You need to build something. You need to pick the first block up. What's the first block to pick up to start rebuilding society? The first block is family. And why do the globalists hate family? Because it gives you a sense of community, it gives you a sense of belonging, it gives you a sense of, a nation is a pact between the dead, the living, and the yet to be born. You start reinforcing that. And you can appeal to the centrists because you're able to say to them, who is not pro-baby? You're able to appeal to a lot of that crowd because who's not pro getting some sort of handout to have kids? Who doesn't want that type of stuff? And here's a really, really strong political point. You can legitimately turn around and tell people you need to vote for me, not for the first election, not for the second election. This is a long-term project. It's going to take 15, 18 years to get a whole heap of new babies up. This is the reason why Viktor Orban is doing this. He's doing this to ensure he gets continuously re-elected. Because you can use fear to motivate people. You can say, if that crowd gets in, they're going to remove your baby supports. How many people are voting for that crowd anymore? Anyway.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
I don't know what to go play music or what, but